Hi everybody, it's Don from Don's Family Vacation, and today I just want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to the cruise lines, because cruisers can be picky people. Sometimes a picky person when I'm on a cruise ship, and if something goes wrong, like we don't go to that port because it's a little windy out and we feel that, well, they could have made it to that port, they're just, avoiding doing it and saving money or something like that. But as much as we give them heck and get down on cruise lines sometimes, we have to thank them when they do something right. And as we're finally getting near the end of the recovery for Hurricane Irma throughout the Caribbean and parts of the United States, you can't help but thank the cruise lines that were the first people there in response to the hurricanes. Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Norwegian all sent ships full of supplies to the relief efforts. And you all know the cruise lines make millions of dollars for every cruise that they send out, and they canceled those cruises and gave everybody their money back so they can help in the relief efforts. So that's money directly out of their pocket. And then the other cruise lines, so you're going to say, well, only those 3 cruise lines. What about all the others? Well, you got to remember, a lot of the other cruise lines don't have the amount of ships that these cruise lines do. And so, like, for instance, Disney only has 4 ships at the moment, and they're not all in the United States. So by the time they would send one across the ocean, yeah, it just wouldn't help with the relief efforts that were needed now. But let me tell you this, Disney did step up with millions of dollars in donation. So did Celebrity Cruise Lines. So did MSC. In fact, they even sent one of their ships to help out as well. So the cruise lines stepped up. They sent out their money. They sent out the people. The cruise ports stepped up and they canceled all fees for any ships doing relief efforts. And they paid the fees for those ships. They still have to pay it to the governments. So they paid the fees on those ports themselves and raised money, not to mention all the people that worked overtime to help load these cruise ships and send them out. In fact, Royal Caribbean had a cruise ship that was sailing for 5 days, and the majority of the people got off the ship when they were done, but because of the shortages in gas and things like that, some people elected to stay on the ship. And near the end, there was about 30-40 people that were still left on the ship, and they'd stayed out for 16 days with very limited food, no alcohol, there's no entertainment on board, because the ship was doing relief efforts for victims of the hurricane. And not only did the people stay on board, but they were helping out on the cruise ship as well. So good job for those people as too. It's great to volunteer. You had the time, you were able to make it, and I'm sure all the people that you interacted with were very, very grateful. There wasn't one person left on that ship that wasn't trying to help out, and that's good news that you can hear. So as much as we like to rag on cruise lines sometimes when they do something wrong or something that annoys us, we just have to admit when there's something wrong in their area, they're one of the first people to step up. Sometimes they're well before the government's even there. So good job, cruise lines, and thank you very much.